The UK has got some of the best racing circuits in the world, and to celebrate top level motorsport starting again in 2022, we thought, why don't we visit the 8 racing tracks that are going to be hosting the British Touring Car Championship this year? But why don't we do it all in one day? And why don't we take a race-winning BTCC trophy with us along for the ride, just to show it some of where its friends have been over the last few years. So join us as we try to complete 818 miles worth of driving, all within 24 hours, as we start in the southeast of England and finish in the Kingdom of Fife at Knockhill in Scotland. Whew, wish us luck.
Basically starting in France. First stop, Brands Hatch. We're now approaching Brands Hatch, which is stop number 1 of 8. Bit of history for you. Brands Hatch started being used for racing in the 30s, mainly by motorcycles and bicycles, where the first race was actually between bikes and runners. So an interesting start to life. Then it was requisitioned during the war, and used for war stuff, training and the like. And then into the 40s and 50s, they realised they should probably tarmac it, so it got tarmacked, and again still used really for motorbike racing. And then in the 60s, suddenly it started being used for four-wheeled racing, and is famous for having 12 British Grand Prix take place at Brands Hatch. So people like Ayrton Senna raced around there, Nigel Hill. Is it Nigel Hill? Damon Hill. No, that's his son. Anyway. And the last winner of a British Grand Prix in 1986 was Nigel Mansell. But since then, it's home to the British Superbikes, F3 British GT, and of course the British Touring Car Championship, where traditionally the BTCC finishes their season at Brands Hatch in the dark winter months. So it looks a little bit like this.
There it is. There is the sign.
A bit nervous.
Well, it is breaking entry.
There you go. Stop number 1 with the BTCC winning trophy, and we're at Brands Hatch. We look ridiculous here. There we go. Woo. Brands.
Phenomenal.
Yes! Only 7 more to go and around about 750 miles.
Despite it being 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, we felt pretty chipper. And as we packed the trophy up into the back of the Vo, we were quite excited about heading to our second stop on this epic journey, Thruxton.
Next stop is Thruxton. Thruxton is an ex-RAF base, so after the war people started zipping around, first of all the airstrips and then the circuit road that went around where the planes used to take off. Eventually that matured into the racing circuit that we see today, which is one of the, if not the fastest racing circuits in the UK. Due to a restriction in terms of zonal planning, Thruxton can only run 12 days of racing a year. So, within those 12 days, they host Superbikes, Formula F3, and, of course, the British Touring Car Championship, And this year, Thruxton is playing host to the Media Day, when all the teams descend on a racetrack, show off their new cars, and show off their new liveries and all the rest of it ahead of the new season. Onwards to Thruxton.
I like it.
Isn't that the best, huh?
Yeah.
Now we're... I'll put the handbrake on, eh? Thruxton, stop number 2. Come on.
No, it's my trophy.
Yes! Stop number 2.
Loving the entrance.
That's
How
amazing,
phenomenal
isn't
is that?
Yeah, and that's insanity. So this is where we are at Thruxton, and this is where we're going next in Norfolk. We're off to Snetterton. It's roughly 2 hours and 50 minutes and 180 miles away. Cool. Sooner we start, the sooner we finish. Stop number 2 of 8, Thruxton, was a thrill, but we were at the wrong end of the country, so we had to hot-tail it over to Norfolk, where we could see the sunny skies of Snetterton. Oh, well, this is the furthest west we're going. Actually, I don't know if that's true. It's the furthest southwest we're going. Yeah. Oulton Park's probably further west, I imagine, but I don't know. All I know is it's absolutely freezing. It'll probably get warmer the more northerly we get, I imagine. That's how science works. The closer we get to Scotland, the warmer it'll get. Scotland, that famously tropical climate.
The closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm.
Right. Onwards, trusty Volvo steed.
So where are we?
We're at Fleet Services because I need a wee, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes to Snetterton still. So, also a comfort break because we've already been on the road for like 4 hours. No. What time did we leave? 4.
Yeah, we left at 4. So we've been on the
So we have
road
actually
4
been on the road
hours.
for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Only 16 more to go, probably. Woo!
That's really nice, actually. Fair play. Well done, good people at Razor Wire.
Well, South Mims is one of my favourite service stations.
You're a bit of a service station harlot, I've got to be honest. You just kind of give it to any service station that has a relatively nice toilet and potentially a Greggs. It's
Mate.
quite baffling.
It's a hangover from being a travelling salesman.
Cobham is lovely. Fleet is lovely. South Mims is lovely.
Yeah,
One
and
of my favourites.
in my defence, we don't stop at every single service station, do we? I know the good ones.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to slag for that one.
Exactly. It's hard to rank them first to third, but my top 3 are Cobham, Cambridge, and I quite like Scotch Corner. Scotch Corner. Oh, feels like a big old gap between the last one and this one, doesn't it? 2 hours 40 between Thruxton and Snet.
Terrible though, it's not felt that.
No, it's not felt nearly 3 hours, in fairness.
I think it's because, 1, we're still enjoying it. 2, we have stopped, we have... Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. We get all the way here and there's traffic lights just before the entrance. I almost didn't recognise it there. Right. Let's not hang about on this one. Yeah. Oh my God. It's windy.
That's it. For you, Phil Bud.
That one?
That one.
It's gold. Snetterton! This is yet another air base. This one, however, was used by the US Air Force in World War II. Originally used for motorcycles, it then eventually started to transition and change into the 100, 200 and 300 circuit that we know and love today. British Touring Cars obviously comes here along with the British GP and the Superbikes, but back in the day, because this is Norfolk after all, Lotus used this as their test track for their F1 cars and some of their road cars. There's an interesting fact.
What are we doing now?
Gonna go get some petrol, and then we've got 2 hours to Silverstone. So far we've been on the go for 7 hours. So since 3 this morning. 4 this morning we've been driving. Petrol, lunch, Donington. Let's go.
You might have noticed that I said we were off to Donington there. Well, the reality was we were actually on our way to the home of British motorsport, Silverstone. Easy mistake to make because I'd already been up for 6 or 7 hours by this stage and I was absolutely blasted. But back to the inside of the Volvo and back to heading towards Silverstone in what was to become a monsoon.
So, we're obviously doing this extremely important touring car track challenge, but there's another love in my life that isn't Stuart, Poro and isn't fast. It is the Edinburgh High Bees, and they are going to be playing Arbroath away in the Scottish Cup, but thanks to media service that we all have to pay a licensee for, that we will not say the name, I'm going to be able to sit and watch it and stream it in the car. So hoping for a win for my team, but we'll see how it goes. Glory, glory to the High Bees.
Get field.
Silverstone!
The home of British racing. Can we please get back in the car now? Guess what Silverstone was?
I'm going to guess it was an airfield of some
It
description.
was an ex-RAF
Whoa.
base, and it's still a working, technically a working airstrip, so you can land a helicopter here and it's fine. But it was on the 2nd of October, according to my notes, 1948, that the Royal Automobile Club held the very first British Grand Prix here, and 100,000 people flocked to watch Luigi Villoresi beat 22 others in his Maserati with the track outlined by ropes and hay bales. So there you go.
Jesus.
Silverstone, the home of British motorsport, which today is pretty damp, which is why we're doing this in the car. But that is Silverstone. Halfway,
4 of 8.
4 of 8, halfway through our challenge.
Halfway through the miles as well.
It is also weirdly halfway through the miles. So onwards to Donington Park, Oulton Park, Croft, and then finally Knockhill. Let's get going.
Silverstone was hella damp, but we had to continue our quest. I'll admit I was a little bit apprehensive about the fact that the weather wasn't really doing us any favours, but we shot off to the Midlands, heading to Donington Park, where we were really quite pleased with our progress. But little did we know that it was going to get a little bit more difficult from here on in.
Bloody hell, look at that. Pretty sure that house was on a Channel 4 programme.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what, Grand Designs?
Yeah, Grand Designs. I was right. Look at that.
That's what we want. Flags on a signpost.
You've got that sign over there, you got that.
That's pretty cool.
And you got that over there. Here we go again, old Rusty. Got it, it's all you. Donington Park, circuit number 5, host of the British Touring Car Championship, a bunch of other stuff like the BSB and probably British GT as well, and host to a Grand Prix that not a lot of people know about. Donington Park.
I have the power!
Right,
Let's go.
back to the car.
As you can see, we didn't really hang around at Donington Park. Couple of reasons for that. The weather was truly horrendous and I didn't fancy sitting in a damp pair of jeans all the way to Oulton Park, and we managed to attract the eyes of security at Donington, and that kind of scared us a little bit, so we just left. But the journey continues. We were really quite tired at this stage, but onwards to Oulton Park in lovely Cheshire.
What a nightmare must be. They've got a big meet. Unless we've come a really roundabout way to get.
I was going to say the alternative is the sat nav has just gone. Yeah, come this way, mate. You'll be fine.
No, but it probably is one of these. Technically, this is like 2 minutes quicker to get this way.
Maybe,
But-
I don't know. It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite scary.
Singular track
actually.
road.
Singular track road when I've been up for. How long have we been up for?
A few hours.
About 15 hours now, isn't it?
Yeah, must be.
We've been driving for a fair few of them.
We were just over halfway through our 24-hour track challenge, and just to remind you of what we were trying to do, we were trying to reach all 8 venues or circuits that are hosting the 2022 British Touring Car Championship. Now on paper, that seems like a really easy challenge, and I will admit, when I was planning this with the team at Is It Fast, I actually thought it was going to be much easier than it was. But as we were driving between Donington to Oulton Park, it was actually very obvious that this was going to take us a little bit longer than we thought, and that reaching all 8 within 24 hours, although sounded easy, might not actually happen. Luckily, the team at Razorwire Energy supplied us with energy drinks that kept us wide awake and safe. But also remember that if you are going to do a journey of this length, make sure you take regular stops and stay put for a little while to rest up. Put all those things together and you've got quite a tight challenge to reach all 8 British Touring Car Championship circuits within 24 hours. Let's see if we do, in fact, manage to rise to the challenge.
Cannot be.
I mean, try and get like a car like trailer through this.
Let alone spectators. Oulton Park over there.
Yes. Look at that.
That was a tough one, huh? Welcome to Oulton Park. This is British touring car home, of course. It is traditionally the opening round of the British GT. BSB, I think, as well. And it's nice and serene, which is quite nice. You can even hear the birds chirping. It's lush. Right. Yes! Oulton Park.
This is stop 6 of 8,
Yep.
but now we have to hit the road. We are about 2 hours away from
Croft.
Croft before we have to cross the border into Scotland, up to the Kingdom of Fife.
Yep.
And if we have to go to Rushton Lane, even better.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, number 6 of 8. Cheers. We're getting closer all the time. Long journey so far. Time for another Razorwire. Tropical. You want a lemonade, though,
Please,
don't you?
yes. I've not had the lemonade yet.
Oh, man.
I'll be awkward.
No, you're fine. In the back of the trusty steed.
This is sweet lemonade flavour, Razorwire. Thank you once again to the team over there for fueling us in more ways than one on our epic journey up and down the country. Cheers, guys.
Oof, don't we look terrible? That's because by this stage we had been going for around 15 to 16 hours. Pretty tough going, but as the sun sets over Oulton Park, we were off to Croft, which does mean travelling across the country once again
and heading to one of the cutest little racing tracks that this lovely country has got to offer. Off to Croft, and then after Croft we only have one more stop to say that we successfully visited all 8 of the British Touring Car Championships venues for this year. Will we make it? Well, I can't tell you yet. You're going to have to keep watching to the end.
That, and there's your welcome to Croft.
Yes, I'll do it.
That'll do it. Oh.
Oh, right. Let's get this shit over with and let's get it back to 5.
Bet you never thought you'd f***ing say that. So we've made it to Croft, BTCC track, famous for rallycross. It's 7 of the 8 that we are trying to hit all in one day. Oh,
We're still going.
we're still
Like
going.
this at 7. After this, we're crossing the border up into Scotland, all the way to Fife, to Knockhill, and that's it. It's been a long day. We're still going strong, still got a bit to go. Spirits are high in the camp. That's it.
Yeah, let's go. Off to Knockhill.
Final leg of the journey, we left Croft to head off to Knockhill, but we then realised we might have made a bit of a mistake.
Well, we have just successfully left Croft. Had a bit of a miscalculation in our timing, I think. So we're now about 3.5 hours away from our final destination of Knockhill and the final touring car track. Fair to say, we're all feeling a little bit despondent, low, but we're going to get over it. We're going to keep our shiny, happy people faces all going. We are still hopeful of finishing within our 24-hour time limits.
How do you feel about it, Stu?
Yeah, it's 3.5 hours. For some reason, we'd managed to all convince ourselves that from Croft to Knockhill it was about 15 minutes. But here we are. We're going to do it. We've come this far. There's a good reason why no one's really tried to do this before, I think.
And we've just figured it out.
We've just figured it out, yeah. But we'll be good. We'll take it easy. We'll be safe. We won't push ourselves to the point where it's dangerous. I feel good. Knockhill, here we come.
Off we went, and to be fair, we sound a bit happier about it on the camera than we really were at the time. 3.5 hours to complete this, what was turning into an epic journey. Up north from Croft on the A68, which if you know it at all means 0 lights, and for us, rain coming from every single direction. We were in genuine jeopardy of not getting to Knockhill within the 24-hour limit that we'd set ourselves.
Anymore, I'm going to crash it. We did it. We did it. Over 818 miles, 8 of the UK's top racetracks, the 8 tracks that are going to host this year's British Touring Car Championship, and we did it all with a British Touring Car race winning trophy, and we've brought it from Brands Hatch all the way to Knockhill in Scotland, and we are battered. We did it all in 24 hours. We've been on the go since 4:30 this morning. It's now 1:45.
The next day. We made it. That's 8 out of 8. It's been long. It's been emotional. Fantastic work. Thanks to everybody in the team. We've done it. Stu. Oh yes!
Oh my days. Right, take a photo of me. I need to get to the hotel. Oh my god! Right. It is, isn't it? Let's go, boys. Let's get out of here. Woo! What an achievement. What an achievement.
Well, we made it. We managed to get all the way from Brands Hatch to Knockhill within 24 hours. In fact, we started nearer to France than anywhere else, and it was a really difficult challenge. Fair enough, it wasn't like climbing Everest, but to us it was our own personal Everest, and a massive well done. Well, a massive well done to me, really, because I did all the driving, but also to other Stu who kept me sane and conscious on the way, and towards the end basically took up all the camera duties. And a massive well done and thank you to Alex as well, who did all the hard work behind the camera. Just a thank you as well to Team Hard, who very kindly donated their race winning trophy that we took around the country that Jack Goff won all the way back in 2019 in that Volkswagen Passat CC. Rest in peace. The Passat, not Jack, obviously. He's racing in this year's championships. And a massive thank you to the team at Razorwire for providing us with more than one can. It was quite a few that we went through in the end, keeping us energised in a zero sugar top energy way, which I must say was very tasty and actually kept us alert. Make sure that if you are a BTCC fan or a fan of motorsport of any description, that you do follow us here on Is It Fast on your chosen social media platform of choice. And thank you very much as always for watching, and we shall catch you next time.